GloomHaven rules and mercenaries with over 100 new missions. Tutorial. Okay, so this is GloomHaven. GloomHaven is actually a board game that somebody faithfully made into a video game. It's supposed to play exactly like the board game, and because of that, I'm really interested in it. I played one round of GloomHaven, the board game, but when you're playing a game that has, half hour to set up and all that kind of stuff, and then trying to get people together, it's really hard to play a board game. However, playing GloomHaven against friends online would be a lot easier. So thought I'd try the game, and have at least a couple other people that have it, and so we'll probably get together sometime and play it. And for now, I'm just going to go through the tutorial, and then if we do get together, I'll show other playthroughs and that kind of stuff from that. So hopefully this will be interesting. Let's try it out. Let's do the basics.
Welcome, Guildmaster. I'm the guild trainer, and I'm here to guide you through setting up your own mercenary guild. Let's start with you guiding the brute through this first tutorial.
Okay. Before we get to the action, you'll want to acquaint yourself with how to adjust the view battlefield. Let's go over the camera controls. Okay. WSD pans. QE rotates. Okay, mouse up and down zooms in and out. Alright. You can also rotate the camera by dragging your mouse with the middle mouse button held. Alright. So that's a little bit easier. I like that. Oh, I like how the walls just kind of disappear as you're going around things. So there was a little room over there, but I didn't see it. So, and then there's something behind us. That's probably just the entrance. So that's pretty cool. In GloomHaven, you control a party of mercenaries, each equipped with a deck of ability cards. These cards are how the mercenaries will explore dungeons, fight enemies, and loot treasure. At the beginning of each round, the first thing to do is to select 2 cards for each mercenary to use on their turn. In the tutorial, the brute has just 3 cards at his disposal. As you can see highlighted in the left, Grab and Go, Trample, and Provoking Roar. Provoking Roar is grayed out to indicate that it is currently discarded for the sake of the tutorial. So for now, let's just select 2 cards the brute has available. Trample and Grab and Go. See how the question mark next to the brute's portrait? No. Oh, up here. Change to a number. This shows his initiative. The number next to the first card you selected determines the character's initiative for the round. The lower the number, the earlier in the round the character will act. Okay. Since there are no other characters visible right now, it will immediately be the brute's turn anyhow. Select Grab and Go. Okay. Click End Selection to continue. Okay. So, now it is the brute's turn. Time to choose some actions. On each half of a card represents an action comprised of 1 or more abilities. So we have a top part and a bottom part. Well, top part and a bottom part. Top part, bottom part. So you can see this one allows to move 4, jump, attack 2, target all enemies moved through. So what you do, and maybe we'll get to this. I'll let this. We'll go through this, and then I'll explain if nothing's mentioned. You get to use 2 actions per turn, and you can only pick any of the 4 card halves on the left to use as your first action. But note that you must then use the opposite side of the card for the second. So if I choose move 4 on the bottom, I have to choose attack 3, pierce 2 on the top of the opposite card. And then likewise, if I use this bottom one, you can see how it's got this one marked as kind of grayed out, same as this one. So that's how it works. Continue. For example, here you can choose either the top half of trample and the bottom half of grab and go, or the bottom half of trample and the top half of grab and go. Yep. There's nothing for the brute to do in this room, so you want to proceed through the door and see what lies beyond with a move ability. Grab and go bottom half lets the brute move 4 hexes, which is enough to get through the door. Let's use that. Okay, so we click that, and then select the highlighted doorway hex. So that's this hex here. Alright. Click the open door button to confirm the move. Ooh. This room contains your first enemy, a bandit guard. Like player characters, monsters also select actions for their turn. Let's find out what this bandit is planning to do this round by hovering over his portrait. Okay. His is going to be move 1 and attack 3. Whilst hovering, you can see the bandit's intentions this round. There's a move and attack. Whereas player characters get 2 actions per turn, monsters only get 1, albeit often with multiple abilities within. Notice how this bandit has a lower initiative than the brute and would have acted before the brute this round had been before the brute this round had he been visible. As it is currently the brute's turn, however, you'll get to finish his turn before the bandit can act. So initiative 70 compared to 72. Let's get the brute close enough to attack on the trample half as a second action for the turn. Okay. I can still move 1. Okay. Confirm movement. Now that you finish using the grab and go for the turn, it is discarded and no longer usable till you return it to your hand via resting. More on that later. For now, time to attack. Select the bandit guard as the target for the attack. When you attack, an attack modifier is drawn from your character's modifier deck, and that value is applied to the attack. In this case, you can see above the bandit guard that a modifier +0 was drawn, so your attack still just deals its base value of 3 damage. So the modifiers can be negative and positive, and I'm guessing it's going to talk about that. So we're going to continue. For this tutorial, we only have +0 modifiers in effect to keep things simple. You'll explore the other attack modifiers later. Alright. And the brute's turn. Bandit guard's turn. Now it is bandit's turn. As we saw on his card earlier, he intends to move and then perform a melee attack for 3 damage. However, as he is already within melee range of the brute, he will simply forego moving and get straight to the attack. Oh. Ouch. Whilst monsters always take damage directly to their hit points, whenever a player character is damaged, you are presented with 3 options. Hello.
Lights are back on.
Awesome. Good to hear.
Alright.
Okay.
Going to bed.
Alright, you go to bed. Love you.
Alright.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Mom just rang. They got power back on.
Okay then, thank you.
Alright, love you.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye. Firstly, you can simply take the damage to your character's hit point total. However, if this is reduced to 0, the character is exhausted, which means they can no longer act in this scenario. If all of your mercenaries are exhausted, you will lose the scenario. Secondly, you can choose to burn 2 discarded ability cards instead of receiving the damage. If you burn a card, it can no longer be recovered by resting. So you only have a limited number of cards, so burning cards is never really a good idea. Well, it can be a good idea, but you need to use it wisely. If you were to burn 2 of the Brute's cards here, he would not have enough cards left for the following turn and thus would be exhausted. Finally, you can choose to burn 1 available card. This option is grayed out as all the Brute's cards are currently discarded. So if you still have cards in your hand that haven't been discarded, you could burn just 1. It is usually wise to take the damage over burning cards, if possible, lest you run out of cards to finish the scenario with. For now, let's opt to just take the 3 damage, as the Brute has enough health to survive. Select to receive the damage. Okay. The bandit's turn is now over, as he was last character to act. It is the end of the round, and the new round begins. During the ability card selection, if you have at least 2 discarded cards, then you may perform a long or short rest to recover them. Some of them. All of the Brute's ability cards are currently discarded. Long rest doesn't count as a card, and as such, he will have to rest to continue. Short rest will burn 1 of the discarded cards at random, losing it for the rest of the scenario, but will recover all other discarded cards before continuing your turn as normal. So you can recover cards to use immediately in this very turn. Long rest takes up the whole turn, and is used instead of selecting 2 ability cards, giving the character an initiative of 99. However, you not only get to choose which card to burn instead of it being at random, but the character will perform a heal 2 action and refresh all item cards. Choosing to long rest here would be certain death if the bandit draws an attack card for the round, as the Brute has neither health nor cards to spare. So let's choose to short rest. Click the short rest button up here. Yes. Okay, so grab and go has been randomly selected as the card to burn. Once per short rest, you can opt to redraw the random card to burn at the cost of 1 damage, but the Brute only at 1 health, this isn't an option. You can see grab and go is now dark red. Yep, been burned. To indicate that it is burned and no longer usable in the scenario. Now, one thing I'm going to have to do something about the sound. The music's way too loud. In exchange, Trample and Provoking Roar has been returned to hand and are available to use again. Both the Brute and the Bandit are near death, so it is crucial to go as early as possible in the round to get the first attack. Remember, the first card you choose determines the Brute's initiative, so let's choose Provoking Roar to maximize the chance. Brute is up first, a low initiative of 10. Provoking Roar, and then right here in the middle, right there in the middle, you can see that like there's 72 right in the middle in the circle is and then yeah, we'll select that one as well, and our selection, theirs is 50, mine was 10. Oh, we are in the same room as the bandit. We can see that enemies draw their ability cards each round after the player, so you won't know what they'll be doing or what their initiatives will be until this point in each round. appears the bandit was planning to once again use move and attack, but because you choose to act quickly with an initiative of 10, he won't have those active until after the brute's turn due to slower initiative of 50. Let's get him. Okay, so select the top half of trample, attack 3, pierce 2, and select the bandit guard. There we go. Confirm target. Got him. Do you see that gold on the floor that the bandit left behind? To pick it up, you need to use a loot ability. One important rule of GloomHaven to bear in mind is that you don't automatically loot treasure unless you finish your turn on it. If you want it, make sure to pick it up before the scenario ends. Loot abilities can also appear as on ability cards, but the easiest way to collect it here is to end your turn on the hex that contains the gold pile. So let's move the brute onto it before the end of the turn with the remaining action. But wait, look at Provoking Roar. The bottom one, any enemy who targets one of your adjacent allies with an attack this round targets you with that attack instead. It doesn't have a move ability on the bottom half of the action, so you can't. So how can the brute reach the gold? This is where default actions come in handy. To the left and right of the central initiative value are two small default action buttons. Oh, okay. There we go. So default movement, perform a move 2 action instead of using the bottom action. This action will discard the card. Okay. So as the character perform a melee attack for 2 instead of the top action, or a default move of 2 instead of the bottom action. Click the default move. Yep. And we're gonna confirm the movement there. Since you only need to move 1 hex for the brute to reach the gold, we can skip the remaining movement using the skip button below. Skip movement. End the brute's turn.
Great work. Not only did you vanquish the lone bandit guard, you've even managed to pick up a few pieces of gold.
Yay!
With the basics covered, it's now time to introduce you to some slightly more dangerous scenarios.
Victory. Alright. Grab and go. So we've done that one. Do grab and go.
Welcome to your first training mission. You've learned the basics, but now you must help the gravely wounded brute deal with a bandit archer elite, a stronger enemy with greater stats than normal. With only a single hit point remaining, any amount of damage getting through will cause the brute to become exhausted. As such, you will have to avoid any incoming damage by burning cards. For the sake of training, the attack modifier decks will all be +0s, so don't worry about those for now. Your objectives to start are: take down the archer with a single attack. Loot the gold she drops. Now surely you can handle that.
Whew. Holy crap. Okay. So I have shield. Shield bash. Attack 4. And stun. I'm not sure about the stun. Overwhelming assault. Move 3, push 2, target with adjacent. We have an attack 6. Overwhelming assault. But that's a 61. Um, I feel like that one. So if I do the attack and stun, I'm hoping stun means that they don't get to do anything. We'll find out. We'll do that one and then this one. No. Uh, so if this one would attack and stun, and this one would be attack 2. Yeah. Oh, he got before me. Burn an available card. Yeah, let's burn overwhelming assault. Brute's turn. Uh, the problem with this is that I'm not going to be able to loot their stuff.
You need to be able to move on to the gold to loot it after you kill the archer. Perhaps there's an ability card you could use with an attack that will do enough damage in one hit. Have another...
Alright, round 2. Alright, so if we do that... Well, we already know. Let's see if we do that. And then... they're going to hit us. I need something that I can at least move. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do that one and this one. Yeah. It helps to know that regardless I would have lost the thing. So burn an available card. We'll do we'll burn that one. Okay. So let's do that one.
Overwhelming Assault is a powerful card, but such power comes at a cost. Actions like Overwhelming Assault's top half, with the flaming card icon in the corner, cause the card to be burned once used, meaning you can't use it again in this scenario. Time to grab that gold.
I didn't notice that. Okay. And then move.
Good job. With no
Yeah, I
enemies
win.
left and your objectives complete, the scenario normally would have ended already, leaving that chest behind. However, for the sake of training, I'm going to set you another objective. Loot the chest. Before you rush headlong into that trap, you might want to heal up a bit first. I'd suggest taking a long rest, which will let you heal too and recover enough discarded cards, allowing you to withstand the 2 damage from the trap and reach the chest.
Okay. Oh. I have to select one to burn. Oh, those are already burned. I just need to be able to move too, so let's do that one. Okay. Ooh, during your movement, add +2 move to a single movement. Nice. Very cool.
Ooh,
So chests can be
those bits
important.
of striding will come in handy next time you need a little extra mobility. Right, on to the next part of your training.